I want to tell you, like, how do you gauge when your body is telling you that you need rest? And you hear all these conflicting things like say, no, 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 go hard, go in, sleep is for suckers, all these different type of saying that's out there, right? Not to discredit them, like, hey, that works for them, that works for them. But I'm telling you that as human beings, we aren't created to not sleep, to not get rest, and to not like to operate like robots. We're not designed that way. We're humans, there's robots, right? Two different things, and we operate totally different. We need to recharge, re-energize, right? That's so important for us as humans. So please, please, please rest when needed. Your body will tell you.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, and today's episode, of course, is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power and it's time to embrace it. Let's go. Get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, of course, I am super excited to be here. And I thank you to each and every one of you listening to this podcast right now. Today's episode is titled Rest When Needed. Yep. I'm going to say that for myself and for all the people in the back, right? Rest when needed. Look, it is so important. Like, I don't know about you, but sometimes, like, there's been situations where I wanted to just like keep going and doing stuff. And then like, there was times my body just shut it down. Like, nah, you won't listen to me when I try to warn you. We gonna shut it down right now. Right. And like, yeah, that's happened to me before. But these days, I really focus on not allowing those things like that to happen again. Because sometimes if you had just rested for that extra hour or 2 or 3 even, maybe even longer, your body want to shut you down for an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 days, So take the time to rest when needed. All right. So I want to start here. Like, we live, and I know we do, right? We live in a society that promotes and pushes this grind mentality. And for certain situations, that's cool and all. However, when your body is telling you something different, I'd advise you to listen to it. Again, man, I've been in a situation where I just kept going and my body is like, all right, look, you didn't want to listen. So now we out for the week. Matter of fact, let me take that voice too. You didn't want to listen. You didn't want to just slow down and relax. So not only am I going to take you out for a week, but you ain't gonna be able to talk for real either. Like, that's happened. Like, it's so crazy, right? And I know some of you out there can definitely relate to what I'm saying. That's probably happened to you as well. Might have been a different level of it, but you could have just like stopped but you didn't, and your body like, all right, I'm gonna have to show you instead because I'm in control, right? Take the time to rest and make sure you're listening to your body. Like, that's really what it is today. Like, let me tell you. So when I want to make sure that those of you listening to this or watching this or whatever, who's hearing me say this, I don't want you to get it confused with rest when you want to. There's a big difference. Okay. So this isn't a podcast telling you like, hey, when you don't feel like doing something, just don't do it. Just rest. No, That's not what I'm saying at all. Listen to a previous episode. I talked about like doing it when you don't feel like it. There's times when things that we just don't want to do, and we would rather just rest or watch TV or do whatever, something besides that thing, right? There's times like that, but I'm not telling you to don't do it in those situations. But I am telling you is that when you feel it, like nobody is built. I don't care how they've trained themselves or whatever, but no human being is created to operate off 2-3 hours like of sleep or rest like that. We are not created that way. But this is unfortunately sometimes what people do, how things happen. And it's like, no, we're not going to do that. Right. There was a situation like, oh my gosh, let me tell y'all. So my wife and I, we've been traveling, right? And it's so crazy. Like we had a week like probably no other week we ever had, like individually and together, right? So what we did last weekend, on a Saturday, we got up, we had some things to do, something came up, and we decided that we would book a same day flight and fly out to Seattle, right? We did that. We went out to Seattle, stayed there for a few days, right? But we knew before, like again, that Seattle thing was a spontaneous type trip, just unforeseen things, just whatever. We got up and went. But we've already had plans for months, like at least a month or two, to go to LA, which would have been the following weekend. So last weekend we was in LA. We already had planned to be in LA for a couple of days for a joyous occasion, right? And just, yeah, for good stuff. And so when we booked that on that Saturday to go to Seattle, we stayed there until a Tuesday, knowing that on Thursday we was flying out to LA. So that gave us only Wednesday to really come home, be home for the day, get some things done that's required for home, for school, for business, for all these different things, like in between, and to repack to get back on the road the next day. Now, we did this, but I can guarantee you it's not something that we're going to do again. We enjoy ourselves in each of the cities, but it is not something the way we will book ourselves to do something like that again. Because personally, I love being at home. Like my wife sometimes said, like, you've turned into this like hermit. You like to be at home. You know why? Because I've set my life up in a way that supports me. I have gym here at home. I have the entertainment I need here at home. I've literally created an environment to be a space that if I don't want to leave, I don't have to. Like, and the world, they made it so different now. Like, if we don't want to go get groceries from the grocery store, we won't. We just get it delivered. However, me and my wife, we're the type that actually like to go to the grocery store and pick out our own fruits and vegetables, especially with our lifestyle and how we're eating and things right now. We like to make sure everything is everything, right? Grass fed this and do that, wild caught that. Like, yeah, it's just a different vibe these days. So we actually like going to the grocery store to get those things ourselves versus having someone just pick random stuff off the shelf, not even paying attention to the dates, etc., and giving it to us. But again, that's another subject, another topic. But it's like just get back on track. There is like we again realize that it's cool and all, we have fun, but for future reference, we'll make sure we space it out a little more because personally, I want to be home sleeping in my bed more than I'm sleeping in anyone else's bed anywhere else in the world. That's just me. And I think my wife is just on board. Wherever I am, she wants to be, and vice versa. Wherever she is, I want to be in certain cases, right? Most of the cases. Sometimes it's like, again, like she got a trip. I'm not going on that trip. for different reasons. But it's just like, yep, no, we're going to do what we want, space things out so we can get that required and much needed rest. Like these like quick turnaround stuff. Again, it was a week that we never done anything like it before. We've traveled, like, okay, we had one trip, waited a couple days and had to go out of town for another reason, whatever. Like we've done those things, but this quick turnaround, literally being home for one day, mind you, our flight got it. We didn't get home till after midnight. Well, almost midnight on when we got back home on a Tuesday. So we basically got home on Wednesday, settled in bed and all this stuff. Like again, no. Fun times, but not doing that again. We've learned that lesson because we must rest when needed. So this week, I've been focusing on getting that rest in, but doing still things that is required for my businesses, my dreams, my goals, all of these different things, because at the end of the day, they're still required to do. Again, this isn't a podcast talking about, oh yeah, when you don't feel like doing something, just don't do it. No, no, no. Some things that are required, you must do when you don't feel like it. But when your body is telling you, nah, sit your butt down and get that rest, you do that, right? Do the things that we don't require so much energy of you. Like, yeah, maybe I might get certain rest. I might not be up and about and doing certain things, but I'm still might be working on a business module or something for my business. Like instead of something that requires me like to just, okay, I'm chilling on the sofa, relaxing, got my iPad, got my phone, got all these different things to make it work for me while still technically relaxing my body in a way, right? My mind is not necessarily relaxing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for me in this situation, but my body is definitely relaxing. So, 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 so important. Now, I want to tell you, like, how do you gauge when your body is telling you that you need rest? And you hear all these conflicting things like say, no, 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 go hard, go in, sleep is for suckers, all these different type of saying that's out there, right? Not to discredit them, like, hey, that works for them, that works for them. But I'm telling you that as human beings, we aren't created to not sleep, to not get rest, and to not operate like robots. We're not designed that way. We're humans, there's robots, right? Two different things, and we operate totally different. We need to recharge, re-energize, right? That's so, 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 so important for us as humans. So please, please, please rest when needed. Your body will tell you. What does that look like? Sometimes like you as they call as they say, right, the saying goes, burning the midnight out oil. You've been doing that, but now your body is like, oh, you know what, today is like, oh, you can barely get out of bed, or like you get up and you're waking up but your eyes are barely opening, like you're really trying to wake yourself up, but your body's like, nah, like lay your butt down, relax. And I know you have certain things you feel you need to do and whatever. It's like change things, right? So I'll tell y'all this. So a couple months ago, I joined the mastermind, right? And during our mastermind, like after some weeks, they started implementing these Monday through Friday accountability calls. So for those calls, for here, I'm on Central Time. So those calls are 5 a.m. my time. I get up around 4 a.m. to get ready for those calls, do some things and get ready for those 5 a.m. calls, right? So what I've done is started going to bed earlier to make sure that I'm getting sufficient sleep to operate efficiently the next day, right? I'm not like staying up, because before these accountability calls, I was doing different things, probably working on something business related late at night, etc., probably to 11, 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. But now I'm like, nope, like 9:30, 10 latest. I'm like shutting it down. We get in bed. Like, nah, we getting my butt to sleep, because I know I need X amount of rest to fully feel like, whoo, let's go. I'm ready to operate today. Right. So whatever that looks like for you, I want you to take some time to evaluate your life, right? What's going on? Like, what is your life requiring from you? Are you needing to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever that looks like? Then making sure, like, gauge, like this week, just practice, like, if I get this many hours of sleep, this is how I feel when I wake up. But if I get this X amount of hours of sleep, this is how I feel. Like, gauge those things, right? And when you decide and really, not really this, but experience the difference in the quality, like the amount of sleep and with the quality of sleep that you're getting, do more of the thing that feels better for you and your body, right? Get that rest, like play with the hours. Like, I know every day won't necessarily be the exact same, but get it as close as possible, because when you put yourself in that routine, it helps to develop more quality sleep. Your body will even start to like be its own alarm clock. Like now, sometimes I wake up before my alarm goes off, because I have trained my body in a way. Okay, we're going to sleep this time. We're going to get up this time, and it just has its own internal clock, right? That'll start happening. But you must like really take the time to evaluate what that looks like for you. For some of us, right, that's 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, whatever that looks like, right? Everyone is not created the same. There's so much information out there about this type of stuff. And by any means, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health professional. I just know what works for me and for people around me. Like, do what works for you. Like, so many things out here are broadcast and portrayed as one size fit all, but it does not. That's why certain diets work for certain people and it doesn't. I actually know even more of the backstory of that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But it's like certain things work for certain people because their body just happens to fit into that generalized mold, right? For you, that might look different. Don't do XYZ just because somebody else is doing it. Do what works for you. Get the rest that you need, that you know your body needs and that is required for you. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, right? Getting that rest when needed is really, truly a form of self-care, because it's like, if you don't listen, it's like you're telling your body, yo, forget you. I don't got time. Like, I'm in control of this right now. I got this. Just relax, relax. When you say that's exactly what your body gonna do. Relax, but shut you down in a way that you might not even be able to operate even a little bit. So be sure to get your rest when needed. That's the biggest thing I want to say today. Nothing too crazy. That's the message. Rest when needed is so, so, so important. Again, y'all, we are not robots, and you have your own mind, right? And you know what works best for you and your body. Don't let all these people out here telling you to do this or don't sleep, or if you sleep, you're going to be broke and all that. Like, bruh, you know what works for you. They don't know your particular situation. So listen to your body, listen to your direct health professionals, like that. Again, super tailored to you, not the ones who out here just general subject. Oh, you should get this amount of sleep for this amount of, you should do this and eat that. And like, no, get stuff tailored directly for and to you. That's what's important, man. Don't take people information with a grain of salt. Even this, you listening, you might like, nah, Jazz, I like all that low generalized information. They said get 8 hours of sleep. They said I should eat this and use this type of stuff. And hey, if that's what works for you and you feel that that's best, like, you have your own mind. Do you, boo boo? Do you? But I'm telling you, me and mine, gonna listen to our bodies, get that rest when needed, and don't. Oh, one more thing. This dropped in my spirit, and something I'm gonna say. Don't stretch yourself too thin. Right? It comes to that. Just don't stretch yourself too thin, because that's normally what happens when we're not getting that required and much needed rest. Is that we're stretching ourselves too thin, probably being everything to and for everybody else, not taking care of ourselves. Look, self-care is so important. Like, if there is no you, how can you take care of everybody else when there's no you? So you must take care of you first. And that's part of taking care of you. Rest when needed. Tell people no when you must. Because, like, look, it's your body, it's your mind, it's your business. So that's all I got for y'all today. That's it. Rest when needed. Stop stretching yourself too thin, and make sure that you're doing the things that's required for you and yourself, your body, your lifestyle. It's all about you. Rest when needed. All right. Look, you guys, thank you again for tuning in. Please follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. If you're watching this, go ahead, comment. If you're listening to this, go ahead, get that 5-star review on Apple or wherever else you may be listening to this podcast. Like, I thank you so much for tuning in. And I will continue to create these episodes just for you all, for the things that just, again, dropped in my spirit, things that been on my heart. Like, it's important. The message comes to me for a reason, and I'm putting it out there to you all. Again, as well, don't forget to grab your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. Grab something that truly makes you smile, makes you remember who you are, like, and how you would choose to operate, right? Better side of things, at least in my opinion, for sure. You all go out and have an absolutely amazingly beautiful day, and be here next week for more Boundaries and More with Chas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.